And Jules here, welcome to my channel. So we've got another Tuesday Treasures, and what we've got today is we've got 4 journaling cards with pretty flowers on that will go through spring, summer. I suppose you could even decorate them up for autumn and winter. So with the magic of editing, I'm going to go away and I'm going to cut these out. But before I do, I've also got some antique laces. That's maybe a little bit too big, and a doily. I've also got some normal laces that are white, a little bit of jute, and we can colour these to match these, so that's what we'll be doing. We'll also be making some junk journal envelope pockets to pop these into. So I will see you in a bit. Okay, I'm back and I've got these, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to ink round them, because you can see there's like white lines. I haven't cut them out that great. I did use a trimmer. And I've printed these out on card, on a cream hammered card, but I printed them out on the flat side. So we've got some nice journaling space on the back. A journaling card is for journaling. So if you've got a, picture on one side, or stickers and stamps and stuff like that, you need one side to journal on. So we've got the 4 of them, and I think what we'll work on is we'll work on this one first. And what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to put some a lace pocket or something on it. Now this is a bit creased. I don't want to cover too much up of it, but I just feel that lace is just a little bit too white. Some of you might like it white, and sometimes I do like it white, but I'm going to trim this off. I'm going to trim it off there. And what we're going to do is, now I used walnut stain to go around the edges, so that's what I'm going to use again, because it's more of a grey brown. I'm just put a little bit of water on there, and then we just you might need a little bit more, you might not. And I'm just rubbing it in. Now this isn't cotton lace, this is probably polyester cotton. And I'm just rubbing it over. It's actually straightening it out a bit. And what I am going to use is I'm going to go for this Twilight Grey, and this is Harmony Spectrum Noir. And again, it's got a browny tinge to it, so I'm just mixing it up a bit so we don't get any strong bits. And this just gives it that dirty look, so I've used the walnut stain give this a good soak. And I'm just rubbing it along. And giving it a good scrunch. Okay, and I'm just having a, it's that one, yep, that'll do. So what I want to do is I want to dry it, so I'm just wiping my, this is just a microfiber cloth that I use for cleaning my desk. I'm just wringing it out in there, and you can see it's a little bit lighter, and we're going to dry this off with the dryer. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, I'm back. So there's our, and totally different from what it was, as you can see there. And if it gets wet, you know, the colour will come out. It's not colour fast, but you know, we're not wanting to get our projects wet. So what I'm wanting to do, that's upside down, silly Billy. It wouldn't really matter. I want to fit that on there, and I'm using Fabri-Tac. I am going to stitch this down, and I won't stitch it down on camera. I'll do it off camera. So I'm just putting a thin line of glue. And I'm just setting the lace a little bit off, because this one you could make into a pocket in your journal. I'm not quite sure yet, but you can see, and then you've got a nice little pocket for bits of ephemera. We've got a little fairy there. We've got some postcards and things like that. So we'll put that over to one side just to dry a little bit before I attack it with the sewing machine. And I think we'll go with a cherry blossom. And do I want a piece over this? There's like a side tuck that way, and I think I will. So I'm just, this lace was gifted to me, so I don't know where it came from. So I'm being quite frugal with it. And I don't need to do anything with that. Although, do I want to put it off? No, I don't. I want it right on. So I'm going to use, I'm just putting the lace up against there so I know where to start. And because lace is holy, you have to kind of wait until the glue's totally dry, otherwise you're going to stick things to it. You really don't want to stick things to your lace. And I'm just checking. which is I think that's the right way, the one with the bobbles, so we'll put that on that way and we'll just press that on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go away and I'm going to stitch right the way around these with the sewing machine. This is my little sewing machine. I'm not going to do it on camera. It's just a wee cheapie that I got from Amazon. It's called a Doto. I've seen this style called different things, so it must be whatever company makes it must sell it to other companies. I quite like it. It does a lot of I'm looking for my black thread. Might have enough on this one to do it. It's got red thread in the spool underneath and I'm not that bothered. And we'll just... I do understand not everybody likes to sew with their good sewing machine. I had a good sewing machine. I gave it to my daughter-in-law because it was too heavy and cumbersome, and bought this light one. This one I've taken out to Cyprus a few times. I did get one in Cyprus, but I give it back to the charity shop. So that's it threaded. So I will go away and stitch these down and I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so I'm back. So I stitched the two pockets on. I also stitched round both these as well. You don't have to. It's not a, you know, not a rule. If you don't have a machine or you don't like using your machine on card, it's fine. I'm not the greatest. I did a zigzag. The tension was too tight, so I just went over it and just roughly went over it with a straight line. Again, did the zigzag. Tension was too tight. It's not the best machine, but it does for stitching paper. I did a zigzag round there just so that it would catch more of the lace. I did a straight stitch round there because the lace was quite close knit. So this lace is still a little bit damp because it started curling the card. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut these. Okay, so as I said, we've got some little bits of ephemera that we can put in these, and you can decorate them how you like. I think we'll put 2 in. You can just use bits of card, it doesn't matter. I'll put the one with the writing on there. So there you are, you've got a nice perfect pocket for your we'll get our ideas. Well, this is my Tuesday Treasures ideas. So this is just a plain journal. As you can see, I've just decorate the pages as and when I want. It's a bit too wide for them, so what we'd need to do is put it on there, but we'll look at a, this is normally what the, and it is built just to go on a pocket, like an A4 piece of paper, put in half, and as you can see, it would look quite nice on there. Could put a little bit of tartan ribbon on, it would match in. And so forth on there. And there's your tall pocket. That would go on a plain page like that, and then you can just pop your bits and pieces in there. I'll put this one in, this is a bit stronger, this is card, and all that is just I printed a digital out on card and these were the bits left, so I just cut them down to make tags. There's a little bit of the collage strips that needs, that was just printed on paper, so that would need put on a piece of card. Put your little lined papers in there for writing on. So that's that one. So we've got those two. Now, whoops, I've just thrown them on the floor. Yes. Oh no, it's not. It's my lace. It's just thrown itself on the floor. Okay. Now you can leave these like this and use them as a pocket or just in a pocket. It's entirely up to you. But what I want to do with this is I want to put a little bit of vellum over the top. And I think, yeah, this is vellum. It's not tracing paper. And this has got a stamp on it, and it is mistletoe. It's Christmas, but I'm not that bothered. And I'm just going to rip it to there, and I think we'll have it, no we won't, we'll have it just there like that. You can see everything that's underneath it, and I'm just going to ink this edge. And the one thing about tracing paper and vellum is it inks really well. You can't really make out the mistletoe. And there, as you can see. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to put a thin line of glue along the edge. And I think it comes to there. If not, I can add a little bit more. And I'm going to stick that down. Now, glue does show through the vellum. It does dry clear, but you can still see it. A bit more. And what I could have done was saved the stitching on this one and done it after. I can still stitch over it, even, you know, stitch over it again, but I'm not going to. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift that up and take a dry wet wipe and just wipe the glue spillage and then trim that off. I can use my there, and there we are. We have another little pocket that's see-through. So you can do all sorts with these, and again you can put your, I'll trim this off. We could put that on a little bit of book page, but I don't think I'll bother. I think I'll just leave it in there like that until I find something nice to go in there. But what I do fancy is I do fancy the little fairy sticker on it, and this was one that came with the Tuesday Treasures envelope or bag. I think it was the last one. And so it was an envelope that you could, well, bag that you could turn into an envelope, and it had a journal card with it as well. And I think we might put a little bit of this lace down. I'm just using art glitter glue for this. And just turn that round like that. Oop. And do we want this little bit here? This is just the little bits that I cut off, and this is how I use these. Doesn't really matter if they've got little bits sticking down. And there we are. As I say, I could stitch back over that, but I'm not going to here. That's how they come. That's one without a window. These ones are coffee dyed. Now you can see that that fits in there quite nicely. And you can see the pretty, and what I did with that one, I opened it right up and put some book page in it for something else, and there you are. And that'll do as a pocket. So what we'll do is we'll work with one of these, we'll work with that one because that's the darkest one. These ones are a little bit bigger, and if I wanted to, the window's just that little bit too big. I'm just going to have a look if I can turn the window down. So I've not opened this up yet. The best time to open them is when you've tea dyed them, when they're wet. There you've got the flowers. Let me have a look at this less on this one. these are the C5 envelopes. And it has to be that way because if I put it in that way, you can't really see the flower. Not that great. That way you see most of it. I think we're going to go with this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just putting that on there and I'm bending that over like that because I just want it as a pocket, and I'm just going to take that off. Here we are. And if I wanted to cover that, I don't mind the blue behind it. If you don't like it, open your envelope up and put book page behind it. But there we are, we've got that. So what I want to do now is I want to cover this up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that with book page. This is the career of Victor Hugo, so we're going to use this. So what we want is we want that strip there. So all I do is I fold it over like that. So it's in line with that. And I'm not going to cut it. I'm going to rip it when I find my ruler. I'm going to put it along there. I'm going to ink along the bit that goes along the window. In fact, I'll use that glitter glue. Take this out so I've got a flat surface to work on. And all the way down there and up, and then just fill it in. And I'm just going to go as close to the window as I can, but just with a thin line. And then move that on there like that. Yeah, you've got a bit of glue spillage, but it wipes off the window quite well. Those off, them over there, and then what we want is we want a little bit down here, and we can have and this is quite delicate paper, so that's why I use it for collage and backing things and not pages, because it is, whoop, I'm saying it's quite delicate. Doesn't matter that that's on there, but it does rip off. And again, we'll just ink the edge, just the one edge. just glue this. And again, I'm trying to get as close up to the edge as I can. And it doesn't matter that it goes over the window a little bit. And there we are, we have that. And oh, here it is. I'm looking for the other book page and it's here. Is this the same one? It is. I think we'll use a little bit of this. So I'm just going to take this clear border off. We'll take the clear border off the bottom as well. We'll take it up to there. Yep, there's been so we're going to have that there. Now I had a little bit of this is a totally different colour altogether. So I'm going to put this here. And this is just a bit of a book page that's, you know, the end pages that don't have anything on them. The clear ones, well, it was just a bit of that. It's quite thick, so I think this is from the poetry book. Again, this is quite fragile, so I use it for collage more than anything. And we'll put that up there. And then we'll stick that on there. That'll give this a good ink. I was going to put it up there, but I think I'm going to put it straight from that edge down. Yep. So I am and I'm going to wrap this book page right the way around. Well, it depends. No, I'm not. I'm just going to do just pull that up a little bit across. If you're going to use the pocket as a free pocket without sticking it in, then line the back as well. But if you're just going to leave it and stick it in your journal and have like another pocket there, then that's fine. So I'm just going to stick this down because we've got a little bit of lift there. And then when you put that in there, it looks okay, but I want a bit more on this, so the clear bits, I'm just going to find some pattern stamps, and I have got some here. Any pattern, it doesn't matter, because I'm not putting it on a stamp block. I'm just putting it on like that. And I'm just, there we are. And this side. There we are. And there we are. And then we'll just ink right the way around the envelope. I am going to put a thumb notch in that front. I'm just waiting on the paper drying a bit, because book page tends to soak in the glue. And we'll just go around the edges. I'll try and do a thumb notch now. In fact, I'll use this one. This should be alright. And it's just the front bit I'm doing. There we are. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ink this. I'm going to ink that, then I'm going to stick that down on the back. So you just push it back in, matching the pattern up, lift that up, and there we are. And then I'll just ink in there a little bit. And then I can go around the edges. And I think we might have a tab on there, so I have got some tabs. Let me get them out. Oh, there's a nice one. I think this is from the Vintage Collage, or a lot of these come free with or part of the ephemera of kits, so you'd need to look through my kits. I don't always keep my freebies on Ko-fi because of the space, but it's usually after about 6 months that I remove them to make more room for the new ones coming. and we'll just put that on there like that. And again, that's something I could have put on before I stitched it, but I didn't, so, and there we are. We have lots of things we can do with these. Now this is my Tuesday Treasures book, so I think what we'll do is we'll put that one in it, and I think I was just going to keep it on the one page, because I'm just going to have to keep making these Tuesday Treasure ideas journals. And there we are. And so you don't need to cover the back, because we're going to stick this in. Now I am going to stick this in as a side pocket, and hopefully I might be able to get another one of the journal cards in here. Might not. And normally I would decorate the page, but I can do that later. I can do a little bit of stenciling, even stamping, because you can cover that up and still stamp. I might get that in, might not, but I won't. Well, yeah, I will get it in, but I need to wait till it sticks down. If I don't get that one in, I will make one. And there we are. So we've got our 4 journal cards. You can put grommets in them, you can put tabs on them, as you've seen there. You can do anything. So I hope you get something out of that. These journal cards are available free from my Ko-fi store. The link is below the video in the description. If you go to the description below the video, people keep asking me, you know, where my Ko-fi store is. It is in the link, and you just look up Tuesday Treasures. When you go to the shop, at the top there's like all tabs, and there's digital kits and monthly subscribers, and one of them's Tuesday Treasures. So you go into the Tuesday Treasures and it will give you the latest one, and you just download it. So you need to put a 0 in if you don't want to pay anything, because it is free. Some people buy me a coffee or whatever as a, you know, to support me, to keep me doing these freebies, and then you just continue and follow the instructions, because I've had a few people that have like couldn't find the file. You have to follow the instructions to the end, and the file's there for you to download, and it is just a 1-sheet download. However, if you go to my Facebook group, which is Junk Journals at, and it's an @ sign, not the word at, JT Creations, and join that, these are in the files. These are free in the files there, so you can get them from there. All you have to do to join my Facebook group is answer the 2 questions and agree to the rules and terms and conditions, and then somebody will come along and approve it. So I will see you in the next video.